Alright, y'all, the name's Elijah. Welcome back. This is probably gonna be a short or something like that, but or a shorter video. But I wanted to just fill in the context around the story I told y'all about partially in the first video. Coming back at least, first video. But so I heard from the Lord that he wants me to know who the person Elijah was in the Bible. So I was night fishing at the time, fishing for sharks. Haven't caught sharks in a long time. Long story short, 2 hours go by, no sharks. Getting a little upset. Hear God say that. Start watching a video on who Elijah in the Bible was, and just hearing about the natural disasters that were happening while he was hiding in a cave, hiding from persecution, from particularly Ahab and Jezebel at the time. And so he heard from the Lord after all these natural disasters happened, because he wasn't hearing from him during those natural disasters. But all of a sudden in the quiet, he heard the Lord. And the Lord advised him to go back and challenge Ahab and Jezebel and all their high priests who served Baal. And so he did so, challenged all them to kind of a 1v1 me bro kind of a thing, where it was Baal versus God, and they would, the people of Baal went first. They were cutting themselves open and ritualistically trying to summon fire onto a pyre from the god Baal, who, by the way, people sacrificed children to, kind of like abortion these days. I'm not trying to get political, and yet I am, because that specific politic is a very Christian politic. But besides the point, Baal never shows up. He was a no-show. He said he would show up, never did. Then Elijah pulls up, said, challenge accepted, douses the pyre with water like 3 times over, and then says, God, send your fire down. And pretty much a second later, there was fire. Fireball from heaven came down, lit the whole pyre up. Then actually one important part of the story was Elijah, while the priests of Baal were unsuccessfully calling Baal, while they were trying to do that, he was mocking them, kind of like, oh, where'd he go? What happened? What's going on? Where's Baal? Yeah, is he fashionably late or something? Never showed up. And then all of a sudden, a second later, God comes down with a fireball, sets the pyre on fire that was doused 3 times with water, and Elijah goes, chew on this. And then all of a sudden, he sicks the entire Israelite nation on all these priests, and they freaking murder them all. Or not murdered, technically, because it was kind of called for. So it killed. They killed all the priests. So I just read that story, felt very empowered because the boldness Elijah had. Elijah was depressed for a very long time. I was depressed for a very long time. So I kind of related to him there. He survived in the woods. I survived in the woods. He was fed by animals. I hunted animals to eat. So, you know, it's kind of similar, kind of, give or take. But it was just cool to hear that it's for me, when I hear the Lord the best is in the quiet, when no one else is around, when it's just me, the ocean, the sharks, and the Lord. Or back at home in New York, me, the backwoods, and the Lord. And the squirrels. Lord knows the squirrels. But besides the point, it was just very comforting because for a while, I didn't know where I was going. And I finally figured it out. And after that, I was curious what Elijah meant, and also my middle name, Andrew. I'm Elijah Andrew Arkadapani, if y'all were wondering. I don't really care that y'all know now. Elijah means God is Yahweh, otherwise known as God is God. And my middle name, Andrew, means courageous, strong, and manly. And that just speaks a lot about Me, I feel like as a person, because I would consider myself a pretty manly, masculine guy. I survive out in the woods for the most part. I catch my own food. I provide for myself, and eventually I will provide for a family. I'm very traditional in my way of thinking. And the most important thing in my life is knowing that God is my God. And so it kind of speaks to me that my first name, the most important thing in my life, is God is God. But the second most important thing to me is my traditional values and being strong, courageous, and masculine as a man. And so it's very cool hearing that kind of stuff. And I'm super big on that kind of stuff. So it makes me more proud to be who I am. And the Lord called them, the Lord told my parents to name me Elijah Andrew. And so hearing that and knowing that the Lord named me these things after the traits that I would become, it was very reassuring to me that I am walking in the right steps, I am hearing from the Lord, and I'm going on the right path. I pray that the Lord will do the same in your life. It may not look the same in your life, but I pray that it would happen for y'all. But yeah, God bless y'all. Yay!